Dish tape.
Jade Melbourne, front court, Storm down 5, under 2 minutes to go. It's money time. Down the stretch we come. And Seattle turns it over. Coach Quinn not happy. Forbes, 3, no good. And they're going to get the offensive foul on the rebound attempt on LA.
A minute 35. I love that both coaches have a lot of their younger players or those players that are really fighting for the roster spots, because this is a tight game. This is about late game execution in front of a packed house.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could not have asked for more in this crowd. You saw the stars, but now you're getting to see this different level of compete and what these minutes mean to these women.
Williams up top. Kicks it far side. Miller, shot clock running down. It's at 5. Melbourne gets into the lane, throws it up, no good, but the foul is going to be called on Clouden. We talked about it before. We saw Zaya Cook do it. Sometimes desperate measures, desperate times calls for desperate measures, and Jade Melbourne just put her head down and said, I got to get to the cup, I'm sorry.
Well, we already told you the Australian was the youngest player in the WNBA last season in her rookie year, but she played in 29 games off the bench. So she got experience. And by the way, playing alongside a Jewel Lloyd, like literally learning by watching one of the best.
Yeah.
And so while there's so many great backcourt players here, you have to believe that players like herself, Nika Mule coming in, they're going to figure it out quickly, just practicing all the time against the best guards in the league.
One possession game, a minute to go. Burrell down the baseline near side, kicks out. Giroux, jumper no good. Here comes Kayla Davis. Melbourne up top. Gets a screen, 3 for the tie, short, and it hit the baseline.
Well, you saw Noelle Quinn. She was a little frustrated. She wanted this lineup to snap into their offense a little bit quicker, but the confidence from Melbourne to take that. We are not done yet here, Jonesy.
Got a good finish. Come back for the final 38.7. A sellout in Edmonton, 16-655. To watch the second WNBA Canada game, and there is our Hall of Famer, Canada Basketball Hall of Famer Tammy Sutton-Brown. Played 12 years, won a title with the Indiana Fever, Markham's finest. And
Jonesy, when I was young, she was my hero. She was I mean, when you talk about stud, when you talk about that forward center position, and you have to just believe that players like that who have given so much to the game, Canadians, sit here today for the second year in a row and see this type of excitement and energy. And Jonesy, I'm looking around an hour and a half before the game when the doors open, and it's groups of young women.
Yeah.
Those are teams. Those are basketball teams that are coming in, and they finally get to see it in person, and that really can ignite something special in someone's soul.
absolutely, they can touch it. They can now touch it. Big possession here. LA by 3, they own the orange. Clouden pulls for 3, no good. Long rebound, Seattle, and they take a timeout. Coach Quinn looking over at the officials saying, we're going to advance, right? We're going to work to the front court and see what we got. And Amy, we talk about it. This is also not only the players, but a chance for a coach to practice something. Hey, I found this play. Let's try it. This might be the time. We'll see if it works or not.
Try it, but then also who can execute. And that goes for both sides.
Right.
LA, prides themselves on the defensive end. This is a dictate and disrupt philosophy in Curt Miller. So with his young squad, he's going to say, hey, on screens, we're going to do this. Maybe, you know, here's the doubles. This is what we're willing to give up. Do you foul down 3? This is always a great conversation to have, right? I'm starting to lean into it a little bit. I like the foul because I've seen too many game winners, or tie, you know, where it could be over.
Yeah, if it's more, to me, philosophically, you watch the time. I agree, though. There's a lot of game winners and game tires coming on threes.
I'm giggling because looking right inside the Seattle huddle, I look at Skylar, I look at Jewel Lloyd. You think they want to be out there right now?
Yeah,
They're like, Coach, give me the ball. But understanding that there's going to be moments like that for them coming up.
Yeah, my time will come.
I remember Sue Bird and Breanna Stewart and that Seattle community and that fan base and how fired up they were about their hoops over the years, and you can't help to think that they are getting ready for another special season with what they are putting out on the court this year.
Sue Bird joined the ownership group in late April. All right, what do you got? Seattle Storm looking for a tie. Quay Miller will inbound. Coach Davis, Melbourne, and Williams on the floor. This is Davis. Dribble handoff, Melbourne. Off balance shot, no good from Williams. Rebound, they need the ball. 10 seconds, and they fouled Clouden, who almost turned it over, but retrieved it. Kiana Williams had a hand in that passing lane.
Well, and I loved her intensity on the defensive end. She missed the shot, she got the shot, she got 2 feet down, was drifting a little bit. But, I mean, LA was struggling a little to get it over half right there, right? Maybe, I get the foul, but you almost wish you had a teammate in the area that could have doubled that up. Nonetheless, if you're Noel Quinn, you got film. Are you happy with the execution? Are you happy with the shot? And sometimes in those positions, Jonesy, we look at the shooter. How about everybody else? Did you set a screen? Did you get to the spot that you were supposed to? Was the spacing good? All this stuff matters so much to these coaches.
Clouden knocks down 2 huge free throws. This is the reset timeout where the ball will advance.
Reset timeout.
And Seattle will have it front court.
I know there are so many Seattle Storm fans saying, put Sammy Wickham in the game, because we've seen her hit so many of those shots. This is about the future. But competitors want to compete, right?
Kiana Williams will inbound right in front of us. 5-point game, 7.1 to go. Seattle in desperate need of a score. Melbourne, she's not going to get it up. And that'll do it. The Sparks clamp down in the second half and come from behind and grab the win. It's a final in Edmonton. LA 84, Seattle 79.
Well, you couldn't have asked for more in terms of the Stars started this game and they put on a show, and then you got a tight game at the end. You got the high level of compete. As for the players, they got international energy. You talk about a global game. Yes, it can absolutely work north of the border.
Big love from the players to the fans as both the Sparks and the Storm turn and acknowledge the fan support here in Edmonton. 16,655, a sellout as Canada does a terrific job hosting the WNBA.
This is tradition now, Jonesy, right? 2 years, we can start calling it a rich tradition.
Well, at some point, they want their own team.